Evaluating function notation using graphs in this case, the thought process to begin with is very similar to Learning Target 4A1 when we evaluated them using notation. The very first thing that I'm going to do when I look at this is to determine which function I'm using. This says to use function g, which means in this case I'm going to be using this line, and I'm going to ignore the parabola. So I'm going to use function g. What they gave me, the 0, is inside the parentheses. Inside the parentheses is x. So they gave me x, and if they gave me x, they want me to find y. Now, I wouldn't write this part out on every problem that I do, but this is my thought process. So when they say find g of 0 equals something, which means go to where x is 0, stay where x is 0 until it intersects function g, and then give the y value there. So g of 0 equals 2. The next one is using function f. So in this case, I want to use function f. Function f is the parabola, so my answers are going to come from points on the parabola. So use function f. Now, 2 clues. They tell me to find x, which means they didn't give me x, and the number they gave me is not inside the parentheses, which means it is not x. So they gave me y, and they want me to find x. So y is 1. I'm going to go on the y-axis where y is 1, and then go across all the values where y is 1 until I intersect the function. Notice there are 2 different places on that parabola that have a y value of 1. I have to give both of those answers for my answer to be correct. So my x is -1 here, and my x is +1 on the other one. Now, as a quick heads up, if instead they had said y is 1.5, when I went across, notice I'm not exactly at -1 or at -1.5. I would have said if f of x equals 1.5, my answers would have been x is roughly, again, if this is -1, this is -1.5, that would be -1.2, and the x on this side is roughly +1.2. So you might have to estimate the solutions, and you might have to do a little bit of guessing. So use function g. They gave me the number inside the parentheses, so they gave me x, which means they want me to find y. So they asked me to find g of -1, so g of -1 equals something. So I'm going to use the line because that's function g. Here's where x is -1. I'm going to go down to my function and then go across and find my y value, which is also -1. And then the last one, and I did a little bit of adding on this that I should take out. The last one says use function g again, so I'm going to use the line again. The number they gave me is not inside the parentheses, so they gave me y, and they want me to find x. And again, it even says find x. So here's where y is +0.5. I'm dealing with the line because that's function g. So here's +0.5 for y. I'm going to stay at +0.5 and then go down and find the x value, which is -0.5. And actually I did one similar to that I wanted to look at, but f of -1.5, and I don't have my graph here, so use function f. The number they gave me is inside the parentheses, so they gave me x, which means they want me to find y. So the y value, and x is -1.5, using function f, that's really what this is saying. Well, x is -1.5. I stay with my -1.5 for x values, go across to find my y value, and it is at 3.5. So, which function are you using? Did they give you x and they're asking for y? Or did they give you y and they're asking for x?